What up, my peeps? It's your Knuckle Big Rucker back at you again, the Ruckus, here with another action figure review, this time courtesy of Hasbro Marvel Legends. What we have is another offering from the VHS line. This is the X-Men 90s cartoon cell shaded series here. We got Storm up next. You can see the box, you see the image of Storm. The illustration is like when taken right from the 90s cartoon. It almost seems like you've got this green sticker here showing plastic-free packaging, which is the new program that Hasbro is on. They're going to be moving to that. In this instance, it's a foregone conclusion because it is the VHS series, and it's meant to purposely look like it's a slip sleeve for VHS tape, which when we turn to the side there, you see more of the X-Men Storm and her imaging there. I lift it up, you can see that slit down there to make it look like it's a sleeve that you would pull a VHS tape out of, but it isn't. This image is repeated on both sides. Turning to the back, we have illustration of Storm, the figure, and of course we get that readout. With her weather manipulation powers, Storm can summon lightning across the sky or gentle rain over a parched land. And yeah, there's legalese below her. You've got more X-Men / Storm on the top there, and legalese on the bottom, as well as in different languages, plastic-free packaging. So that is our packaging right there. And what we'll do is I've already taken the liberty of slicing the tape off camera. So we will open the packaging up right here. See what we have as I pull her out. Oh, she slid right on out. Wow. I don't have her. So we will get rid of the box and the cardboard temporarily. We'll open up the bag there. They come in, they put the figure and the accessories in wax paper bags now, if anybody is unaware of that by now. And we will see what our girl Aurora Monroe comes with, if she wants to come out of the packaging. One thing's for certain, they're in there nice and snugly, that's for sure. So she comes, her accessories, she comes with a second pair of hands that are demonstrating her powers, her able to emit lightning. So pretty cool right there. Set those to the side and then get to the figure itself. Take it out of the wax paper. See what we got. So she comes there. Nice. They've got the cardboard there to keep the legs from warping. I like that. And here we have our Storm. See if I can get her standing, and we'll just deal with that for right now. So yep, we've got our Storm out of the packaging, and oh, she wants to fall over, and looking good so far, but we'll take a 360-degree look at her on our rotating base. So we have Storm on our rotating base, and you're getting that 360-degree look at the figure. First glance, it's the blacks, the so-called cell shading for Storm seem to be I think they blend in better on Storm than they do on the other three offerings that we've gotten. I think because she's you know, mostly molded in white, and the cell shading, if you will, is black, so it looks more authentic, more natural with Storm. But we'll get her off the base, and we'll investigate that a little bit further. We also see that she comes with the for lack of a better term, soft goods cape. We'll check that out too. So here we have Storm up close and personal, and the first thing, we're just going to get right to it, starting with that head sculpt. I think Hasbro did a wonderful job with this portrait. This is a very beautiful sculpt of Storm with her face, very lovely. She's sporting the blue eyes, as Storm is known to have. Of course, the hair is, her hair is white. There isn't a wash in the hair, unlike the first go round that we got of basically this figure. All of the VHS series are just repaints of past issued figures. They're reissues and done with the cell shading in mind for the VHS 90's cartoon motif. And speaking of that, looking at her paint apps there, she's got the black lines and the yellow, and I'm telling you, that really, it sets it off. That's the cell shading for Storm, the black there. So I'm really digging that on this. I know it's meant to be for the cell shading, but it does add extra, and it really is, because she's molded mostly in white. It makes it stand out more. I don't really think of it as cell shading, but it is what it is, which is a good thing in this regard. She's got the yellow striping going across her shoulders, as you can see right there, and striping going down the right side. And also, she's got a ring around her collar, and going up, you can see yellow her wrists and her belt, and lifting it up, it follows through all the way around, so that's cool. The rest is just white, but then we're talking about that cell shading. You see that everything is based on towards her right, if you will. She's got it on the interior of her right leg and on the exterior of her left leg, because you're supposed to be looking at her, I guess, from that angle. Same thing with her arms. You see where it is on her left bicep versus her right bicep. It's on the inside of her right bicep. And looking at that the soft goods cape, for lack of a better way of calling it, because it's more of a it's not a cloth or anything, but it is soft, so you get that. It does have line work there too, which is supposed to be for the cell shading, and yellow striping there. You have to be very, very careful with this. You try to overpose and yank the wrong way, because it's connected via loops on her wrist there. So always keep that in mind. As far as her articulation, with that big coif of hair, she's not going back at all. So that's unfortunate in terms of flight poses. She can look down. Her head is on a ball hinge, by the way. And take note of her earrings, painted yellow. You can see that right there. Beautiful red lips there. Got it going on. But yeah, she can't move her head back because of all that hair. She can get some left, right, left, and she can get some attitude there. You go, Miss Monroe. Her shoulder pads are connected to her X symbols, so they actually swing and move. She can lift her arm up to a perfect 90. She can rotate. She could rotate 360, but her shoulder pads will impede somewhat. And yeah, it is what it is. This is an older mold. Once again, this is just a reissue, so she is sporting the female single jointed elbow that swivels, and she's got a wrist that also swivels. And once again, be careful, because that loop is going to go with her wrist when you swivel, because it's on there nice and snug, which is cool, but it can be detrimental if you overdo it with the movements. Her left hand has a horizontal hinge, as does the right hand as well. As far as her articulation with the torso, she has a diaphragm crunch that she can go just a little bit forward she can go back great, which is needed for the flight poses, but if you go too far back, you're going to see that gap there. But at least she goes back far enough to compensate for her inability to move her head back. Of course, you can lean with it, rock with it, and go left and right. She can do the splits that much. Lift her leg nearly 90. Go back almost nothing there. She's got the thigh cut. She's got double jointed knees. Of course, they're pinned. And her feet, she can point her toe that far forward, up that much, which is not much at all. She does have ankle pivot and, of course, holes, peg holes at the bottom of her feet. Here I have Storm with her additional pair of hands sporting the lightning effects. And yep, that looks very nice, that effect. And of course, if you have additional lightning effects to enhance that that visual, I would advise you to actually utilize them. Remember, third-party effects, they are your friend. And now comparing our VHS series Storm with the retro series Storm that our VHS Storm was basically taken from, take the cues from, and looking at the differences. First thing we'll talk about is the overall, the body, the paint for the body, the color for the body. You see that the retro series Storm is in a like a pearl white, whereas our VHS is a very bright kind of white. And I'm liking the VHS because that white is more vibrant. It stands out. I find myself looking to my left more than to my right because of it. As far as the head sculpts are concerned, you see that the difference in the eyes. The retro series Storm has got pupilless eyes to show, you know, her. She's using her power. Whenever she actually uses her power, her pupils do go blank. So this is a powered up version of Storm. You also noted that the retro series Storm has gloved hands, whereas our VHS series Storm, her hands are bare. And also the other difference is the shading in the hair. Turn them around. As you can see, the retro series Storm definitely has the shading going on, whereas our VHS series Storm is just pure white. Still looks nice though. And the differences in the capes, the respective capes. Retro series cape is kind of like a grayish white with the mustard yellow streaks, line work going around the perimeters, whereas our VHS is a gray with the black lines, which is supposed to, you know, that's supposed to be that constitutes cell shading, and she has a straight up yellow perimeter line work going on. So oh, and I just jacked up the footwork, so you know that they're not going to stand. Well, actually our VHS Storm stands, but not I already squeezed the legs on the retro series, so I'm just going to hold her here. So those are the differences that you see right there. Which one do you like better? And here we have a group shot of all four of the VHS series offerings that we have so far. You've got on our far left Wolverine with his cell shading, which I think looks the most like a cartoon because of his cell shading. And then of our far right, we've got Jubilee, who her cell shading is meh at best. It just looks like somebody just poured some caramel syrup on her jacket there. And then next to her, we've got Mr. Sinister. And as far as his cell shading, because of his dark coloring, it's really hard to discern unless you're like looking right up at him. But that's the four that we have so far. Jean Grey is up next. She's in the pipeline. She's on her way to me. So when she gets here, we will review her. So to sum it all up, the Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Men 90s cartoon VHS series Storm is, I like her. I can't front. I actually like her more than I like the retro series version. It's something about that bright white and the the cell shading for her, that it stands out. I know the cell shading is a very polarizing subject. A lot of people could leave it, and some will take it. It all depends on how well they do it. As far as cell shading for what it's meant for, I could take it or leave it on Storm. I just like the cell shading as design for the costume. It just to me, it enhances, along with how bright the white is. I love the beautiful head sculpt, absolutely gorgeous. And one thing, let's say caveats, I didn't mention it, but there has been talk about her legs being kind of gummy. Mine's are pretty fine. They don't feel gummy at all. She was problematic to stand a little bit, but that's because I did not really work with her too much to get her ankle joints loose, to get her legs flat, her feet flat on the ground. The other thing that I didn't mention, when you're changing out her hands, I did mention about the loops, and to be careful. You don't want to mess the loops up when spinning the hands, or and being careful about with the cape itself. Her wristbands, her yellow wristbands, they are loose, so when you remove the hands, they could fly off. So just take note of that. Other than that, it's a nice figure. As far as the 4 offerings for the VHS line that we've received so far, I'm going to something about the costume, the white, I'm going to put her as my favorite, followed by Wolverine. Wolverine was my favorite until we got Storm. Wolverine was my favorite simply because his cell shading is the most successful. His is the one that looks mostly like a cartoon when you look at him from certain angles. And Storm, I just like, it's just the head sculpt is an improvement over the previous version. The previous version has the nice wash for the hair, but Storm having the pure white hair doesn't bother me at all. I think it looks good with that head sculpt that we have. They're using that face print technology, and it shows on this one. Once again, I know I'm harping on it to the point where I could be accused of simping, but her face sculpt is absolutely beautiful. And we got the extra hands with the lightning effects, so it's all good. This is a very nice offering for the VHS series Storm, X-Men 90s cartoon. So that's going to do it for this review. Please like, guys. Please share. Please subscribe. We got a couple days left. I'm trying to get to 500. Looks like unless I get a wellspring, that's not going to happen, but I'm still going to push for it. Give me all the help you can. Leave comments. I want to hear your concerns, your questions, and anything else you may have, your criticisms, whatever. Let me know what's up. And if you want to be notified for when I upload another video, smash that bell, and that will happen. On behalf of Aurora Monroe, aka Storm, of the 90s cartoon VHS series line, this is the Ruckus saying the hunt continues, and I'm out. Peace.